I start, I do want to say that there's literally no possibility of me getting through this without crying, so I'm just not going to apologize for that, but Marcy, I don't remember when I first met you. To be honest, I think I made the terrible mistake of overlooking you in all the hubbub of starting a new school year and moving to a new country. I first remember noticing you when Pitom, this avowedly ultra-liberal future Reconstructionist rabbi, started showing up at the traditional egalitarian minyan I was gabbaying at the time. All of you who know Marcy know that when she commits to something, she really commits to it. So when she said she was going to start coming to minyan, she really started coming to minyan. 10 times a week, never missing a single day, and always 5 minutes early. I was blown away, and frankly, I still am. I've never met anyone with the kind of insane dedication that Marcy has. She simply heard that we were having trouble making a minyan, and so she started showing up. No big deal. 10 times a week, always 5 minutes early. But it wasn't enough for Marcy to show up. If she was going to do it, she was going to master it, which I now know is how Marcy approaches everything. Marcy set herself to mastering the unfamiliar traditional nusach with more of that voracious dedication. Every day, she was in the Beit Midrash, at lunch, after class, late after everyone else went home, making tefillah her own through sheer force of will. And when Marcy finally led Shachrit for the first time, I'm pretty sure the gates of heaven swung open, because nobody had ever worked harder and deserved more to lead Shachrit than Marcy did at that moment. And with Shachrit, so too all of the mitzvot. One by one, Marcy thoughtfully decided that she wanted them in her life and went along steadily making them her own. At the end of the year, Marcy was the one, of course, who was thoughtful enough to notice and want to recognize me for organizing the minyan and see that my siddur was, of course, falling apart. And that's totally typical. Marcy has an incredible gift of seeing others and an even more incredible gift of always seeming to make the time and energy to act on that care. And so she bought me the beautiful Koren siddur that I still daven out of every day. And that's just typical Marcy, thoughtfulness and caring for everyone around her. And she wrote a note in the front in which she referred to me jokingly as her rabbi. Marcy, I've never told you this, but that was actually the first moment when I imagined that I actually could be a rabbi. Marcy has the gift of dreaming things into being. You've always believed in a much stronger version of me than I could ever see. And your vision has pushed me to become a better rabbi and a better human being. And I know that's true for many of the people who are lucky enough to be your friend. At Pardes and at Hebrew College, Marcy has been the definition of batik. The learning doesn't always come easy for you, but you always excel, because Marcy works 3 times as hard as any of us. Guys, Marcy actually does all the reading. Marcy loves Torah, and she has worked her butt off to make Torah her own. And her dedication to learning and teaching are a joy to watch and a gift to Am Yisrael. Marcy cares more about community than anyone I've ever met. For the 2 years we were in Israel together, she came to Shabbat morning davening every week, also 5 minutes early, to set up chairs. The community needed her, so she simply showed up. And when we came back to America, I watched first from afar and then from closer by as Marcy became a cornerstone of the Cambridge Jewish community. At Hebrew College, I'm sure no one has more consistently shown up in a million different ways. Marcy doesn't care about glamour or attention. She just wants to serve the community. And that attitude will truly be a blessing to any community lucky enough to call you Rav. Marcy has faced more grief in her young life than any of us should have to. As she moved through her losses with grace and strength, we have all learned from watching her. Marcy also doesn't know that she was, anonymously, the subject of my rabbinical school admissions essay. I wrote about her because Marcy taught me what it really means to be a Kli Kodesh, a holy servant of the community, when, a few days after the loss of her father, Marcy insisted on going forward with hosting a Sheva Brachot celebration for me and Will in her home in the final hours before it became a Shiva house. Life is like that. Community is like that. Marcy is like that. Marcy, one of the greatest honors for me have been the times that you've shared with me about your mom. I'm deeply sorry that I never met her because she sounds like an incredible human being. She was a powerful woman who loved you hugely, and from what you've shared, you've learned so much from her as you watched her go on her own intense spiritual journey as an adult. She gave you a vibrant Jewish childhood and community, a powerful example of Jewish commitment, a fierce dedication to egalitarianism, and most importantly, she was your co-dreamer in the vision of you as a rabbi. Marcy, I know in my bones that your mom is dancing in joy today to see the tremendous person that you've grown to be, and to see her dream and your dream of your becoming a rabbi come to fruition. Evan Masu Abonim Hayta Rosh Pina. Marcy, the person who I originally overlooked, has proved to be the most solid cornerstone, the most loyal friend, the kindest and most dependable servant of the community. I can only offer you the blessings that you already possess. I bless you with tireless energy to lead and to serve, with deep wells of dedication and strength. I bless you with continuing your commitment to Torah mitzvot and to continuing in the skill and dedication of teaching and sharing them. I bless you to continue to have the gift of believing in people, of dreaming things into reality. I bless you with a rich prayer life. I bless you with more love and more joy and no more grief. And most of all, I bless you that you will have mercies in your life. Friends and community members who believe in you and who dedicate themselves to building alongside you. Marcy, you are my rabbi.